All right, man. Without further ado, here it is. Here's my patient review of Cyberpunk 2077. Keyword patient. I just want to say without a shadow of a doubt that this is definitely the hardest review I ever have had to make as far as an enjoyment level. Not that I don't like the game or that I like the game or anything like that. You'll see all that in the review just from everything that happened to me. So I just want to take a few moments before this video starts to really just connect and talk to you guys from the heart and just say, you know, what happened to me throughout this time. So leading up to the game, I had been waiting on it for about 7-8 years. Ever since the first announcement of when they announced it with the whole trailer and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure if you follow the channel, you know everything. You see me hype it up. You see me talk about it. You see my rants. You see my raves. You get it. You understand that. But I took a lot of patience with this game, not only going through delays and stuff like that, as many other people have. I took a lot of patience with this game like everybody else did. I really stuck through the delays, and I stuck through a lot of the promises and stuff that these guys were talking about, and I wanted to give them ample amount of time. From them saying that it'll be out when it's ready, from these guys going on and saying that this will be in the game or that it's delayed because it needs more work or because this, and this. I really hung in there even when I was a little upset about the delays and them coming out and giving release dates when it was clear that it wasn't ready. It was pretty hard. But the patience that I had just made me like a rock. You know, shout out to Jesus. Yeshua, you know, my rock. But it made me like a rock, and it really made this game special for me in a different type of way than it is for anybody else. So, I mean, it was a hard way just to get there. Now, after the release, I said this a couple times in a couple other videos, I had my PC breakdown on me December 25th. I was playing Christmas Eve, trying to get a couple more gameplays in and a couple more hours into the game for the patient review. And as I was doing that on Christmas Eve, going into Christmas Day, before I was going to take a break for like 2 or 3 days, my power surge just basically went on and off, and that happened because of the bombing in Nashville. And it was pretty much, you know, just, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. My power supply basically crashed in my PC, and I couldn't get another one for 2 weeks. So I basically didn't play anything on PC for 2 weeks. I did play on PlayStation a little bit. I watched a lot of gameplay to basically keep myself up to date on it, and I did have basically enough time to say that I've done a second playthrough, and that's basically what you're going to see when I explain my second playthrough. All the gameplay that you see is from my first playthrough with Corpo. There are some parts that I did not play, as far as, you know, the Delamine missions, which I'll get into in the video in a few seconds. I did not do those Delamine side missions, or Delamain, however you say that. I did not do the boxing side missions. I just found them tedious, repetitive, and I did not feel like doing them. I really enjoyed almost everything else about the game, but goodness gracious, that stuff right there was just frustrating. And I'll get more into that. You'll see it in the patient review. I'll go deeper into that. But as far as the timing and everything that I had to deal with Cyberpunk, it was a hard process to make this video, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and just show you that I did work hard on this video. I did really put a lot of time into this video. I put a lot of time into the game. I put a lot of time into editing this, a lot of time into talking about this, and I have a whole bunch of notes from my playthrough. I have the whole book here from the playthrough. I went out, let me see if I can show you guys this. Hold on. I literally went out and I bought the Cyberpunk the Cyberpunk book to show you guys this. I mean, it's full of just nooks and crannies. I've read almost everything in this, and then I have the Game Informer as well to show you guys what was going on before it and everything going on with that, man. But all I have to say basically to you guys is I really worked hard on this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys appreciate it. Again, my patient reviews are not here to ruin the game or to break the game or to hype the game up. It's simply my review, and it's simply a patient review. Playing the game, taking my time with the game, appreciating the game or not appreciating the game, just depends on what it is, and breaking down every little thing about it. And if there are bugs and issues, I wait out the first couple waves of patches and updates, and then I review the game. Unlike other people who just rush out to get a review just for videos or just for clicks and impressions, I don't do that. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to my patient review. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is not going to be like Skill Up or any of them where it's super highly edited and worky, quirky, and really nice. I just give a raw impression of what it was that I enjoyed about the game while showing you some of my gameplay, showing you some of my clips, and we talk about it heart to heart, man to man, man to woman, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for enjoying the video and coming to the video and liking the video and whatever it is that else you want to do. If you enjoy it, just leave a comment down below. I don't ask for likes. I don't ask for subscribers. I don't care if you do that or not. I appreciate it nonetheless. However, just leave a comment if you liked it, and share this video if you could. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy ZyAZ, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry, and I'll see you in the patient review. warning, there are heavy spoilers in this. If you have not played or beat the game yet, I highly recommend you play or beat the game before watching this review.
Problem with Saburo Arasaka.
You have no offspring, nor do you have an entire clinic focused solely on your care.
Let's just get my ending out of the way. This is my ending right here. You're seeing my ending. Yes, I made it to space. I was in space. I don't know what ending you got. This is the one that I got. I felt very satisfied with this ending my first time through. I know there's a lot of people out there that maybe didn't like this ending, didn't feel like it satisfied them, didn't fit the theme of the game. But personally, even though the ending drug out and it was getting boring and tedious and I couldn't stand being in the spaceship for as long as I was, seeing my character look at Earth and look at everything at the end of what he's done, look at the necklace and just the catastrophic stuff that have happened throughout the game, and him just looking like he has just a sense of relief and pondering his next journey just felt great to me, and I absolutely love this ending. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're finally reviewing Cyberpunk 2077. My goodness, what a ride it has been. I'm excited to get this video underway, so let's just get right on into it. The number one thing I did not like, and I'm gonna start off with what I didn't like before what I liked, because what I liked is more than what I didn't like, and criticism always has to come first. What I didn't like was the bugs, the glitches. Now everybody and their mama knows about bugs, about glitches, and the overall just theme and feel of what Cyberpunk's happened and what's gone on with Cyberpunk over these few months. But even after all these patches, even after all these updates that they have done to just bring a steady foundation to this game, it still is a buggy fucking mess. It is so damn buggy. I've had 3 major glitches and a plethora of crashes. I played this on PlayStation 4. I played this on Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I've got gameplay sent from me from Stadia. I've done it on GeForce Now. I played this on a 1070 Ti, and I played it on a 2060 with ray tracing enabled. I've played it all, and possibly in every way, shape, or form that you can play a video game, and it is buggy on every single one of them. Yes, if you have a good hardware PC, such as I did. I had an i7 for the last couple missions or last couple games that I played in my second and my first playthrough, but I ended up playing on a 2060 ray tracing. It was better, a lot smoother, a lot better looking. Obviously it's better hardware, but it still had bugs. I had plenty of issues. I had one mission where I was doing the rocker mission, where I was Johnny Silverhand and we were playing in a band where there was this blue bar just sitting at the bottom, and I didn't have any gameplay because I wasn't recording at the time, but it was sitting at the bottom, and it irked me. It was annoying. Then I had another mission where I was playing as Johnny Silverhand, where the same music from the band kept playing over and over and over again, and I couldn't exit the cutscene or else I would start all the way over, because for some damn reason in this video game you can't turn autosave off unless you go into the files and turn it off. Another thing that bugs me is the lack of awareness and attention to detail. Why can I not switch my controller scheme for a controller? Why is messing with my key binding so damn hard for mouse and keyboard? Why? And this is the story of what I'm going to say about what I disliked about this game. This is the whole plethora of my dislikes. There is such a lack of attention to detail in some of the smallest areas, yet some of the biggest areas have such an impressive amount of detail. It makes no sense, and you can tell that this game was rushed. It was not polished. And before you get into this and say, well, people wanted it out so bad, well, people wanted it to be there, I was one of those people who wanted it out, but I never wanted it rushed. The only issue the majority of the community had was that they kept giving us dates and they kept pushing it back and they kept pushing it back. Then they would lie and say, oh, it's definitely coming out. And then they would push it back. And then they would say, oh, it's ready for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. It wasn't ready. Oh, it's playable. It wasn't damn near playable. Come on, CD Projekt Red. I'm highly disappointed in you for these things. However, there is some positives, and we'll get into that later on in the video. This isn't a bashing of them. I'm not coming at them. And for some of you weirdos who think not talking to the developers, not criticizing the developers, and that they're just some saints, no. The publishers or the people who made the decision to put it out deserve criticism, and I'm pretty sure the whole community has went over it, but so do the developers. They have to be vocal they have to talk. And if they felt like it wasn't ready, they should have come out in some way or shape or form and told the publishers. And if they just ignored them, or the leads just ignored them, they should have found a way to tell the community. This is called morals, this is called standards, and I'm not going to undercut any human being working on it. It's like saying a soldier in World War II or a Nazi in World War II isn't responsible for carrying out the orders Hitler and his regime gave them. No, they're the giver. They're the ones who do the action. They deserve just as much blame as the leaders, if not almost more, because they did the action. Okay, I'm not here comparing developers to Nazis or anything like that. Okay guys, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving a reference and a point of analysis. These developers have nothing like that. They've done nothing surrounding that is that major. I'm just coming out again making a point of reference, because I know people will take that and run with it. My next dislike about this game is the cut content. I've seen it all over Reddit. I've seen it while playing the game, but man, have I seen some videos from Crowcat, I think that's how you say his name, to Legacy Killer and Skill Up. There's just so many videos and so much different things on YouTube and even on my playthrough that just lead me to believe that what in the hell were they thinking putting this game out? Where are the trains? The first trailer I ever seen of Cyberpunk with actual gameplay actually hyping it up was a trailer with V standing there looking over the night city. Where's that at? Where is this luxurious picture of this mansion at, where it's just this whole thing going on? And that just, there's so much cut content, man. I can't make this shit up, man. There's so much that's not here that are just like, it just feels like they're just placeholders for what they were gonna make. It feels like an alpha version of the game. It feels like we're beta testers, or not even beta, alpha testers for a game that's supposed to come out maybe in a year or a year and a half. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. But hold up, that soundtrack, Fido. The game has a lot of bugs, but there's another issue that it makes me boggle the mind, right? It just boggles your mind so much. Now, in this issue, I do want to say that the racing was very fun. It was enjoyable, and the story with Claire was a whirlwind, I guess you would say, you know, with the trans, you know, stuff going on. Obviously, that's what this world is about, but it was a little weird, you know, kind of made me not want to help her, I guess. No, I'm just joking. It was a pretty good story. I'm not gonna lie. I love the side missions, and I definitely liked this side mission. It was something that shocked me, that's for sure. But the driving is abysmal. I mean, I won't even say abysmal. I'll say it's a tad below average, like just slightly below average. And it's like that with every car. I thought at the beginning of the game, with shittier cars or with terrible cars, it was just going to be harder to drive until you got really good cars. Nope. When I got the Batmobile, and then when I purchased a better car, it felt like it was even worse. There's so much tail whipping. There's so much spinning out. There's so much uncontrolled stuff. It is just like, dude, did y'all play GTA? Did y'all play that, man? Make the tighter controls. Now, I will also say this, that The Witcher 3 Roach was abysmal. It was so hard to control that damn horse. It was ridiculous. So I put up with it in this game, just like I put up with it in The Witcher 3, and I won't make too much of a big deal about it. But man, it could have been better. It could have been way better, man. It was a problem. It was a problem. Another thing about driving that made it really hard, and other reviewers have talked about this, was the mini-map. I feel like it's almost every game now that I got a problem with the mini-map. How hard is it to get something so small, but yet so major correctly? First it was Modern Warfare, then it was Apex, then it was Warzone, now it's motherfucking Cyberpunk. The minimap, fam, the minimap. Zoom that motherfucker out, man. Why am I looking at one road at a time? I need to see the whole damn city damn near. Maybe not the whole city, but you get my point. This minimap is so damn zoomed in. If you scoped it from NASA and you zoomed all the way in, it wouldn't even be that good on Google Earth. Google Earth ain't got shit on the zooming in that Cyberpunk's minimap has. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, the frustrations of missing a turn or not seeing a turn and then having to back the damn car up, or maybe hitting a civilian, then getting your car sprayed down with when you want to keep your car looking fresh, smooth, and exotic, is frustrating, and it pisses me off. Moving on to the next complaint or the next issue that I have with this game. Who the hell designed the boxing tournaments? They are abysmal, bro. They are fucking abysmal. It would have been a nice feature to the game if I could have completed it, man. I could not find a way at all. I'm talking about at all to beat these twins. Now, maybe I'm just a trash gamer. Maybe you figured a way out of it. Fine. But I felt like there was so much more interesting things to do, like doing gigs and stuff like that, than sit there and box twins and box other people, and I can't even box them. And my main complaint, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and this one makes me want to swing. Makes me want to just swing in air, man. Who the fuck designed the Delamine side missions? I want to kick you. I'm going to just kick you, Spartan kick you into a box of marshmallows, man. I just want to fucking just, you know what I'm saying? Just throw you off one, man. Just hopefully you land safely. But man, I want to give you one of them sumo kicks, brother. Man, every 5 seconds, I hear, V, one of my missing vehicles could be in your location. V, one of my missing vehicles could be in your location. I'ma smack the shit out this damn AI, man. I mean, dude, you can't even deny phone calls in this game. These are basic things that they just overlooked, and this is why this game feels rushed. This is why this game has gotten so much negative press. It's because they feel like they've never played a video game before. These are little things, stuff that every game that has come before you that is even mediocrely good, I don't know if mediocrely is a word, but we're gonna go with it, has done. Let's talk about the water physics. Let's talk about physics in general in this game. They're trash. You jump in the water in this game and nothing happens. This is stuff San Andreas Vice City got right. Where have you been? Y'all ain't been developing games since San Andreas and Vice City. Y'all just started in like 2006, I think. I mean, come on, CD Projekt Red. This is stuff that The Witcher 3 had right. What are we doing? Now, I do want to talk about the AI. Everybody's on the AI. Now, the police AI, the wanted system, broken, trash. Get rid of it, throw another one in. That's all I got to say about it. It's absolutely trash. The driving, trash. Get rid of it, throw it away, put another one in. That shit needs to happen. Why it hasn't happened already? No fucking clue. However, the AI with people walking around isn't as bad as people make it seem, because in The Witcher 3, it's basically a copy and paste here. Now, that doesn't make it great. It actually pisses me off because they made no fucking improvements to that shitty AI that was in The Witcher 3, coming from Red Dead Redemption 2, where I could talk to everybody and their mama, and they over here talking about, oh, this is the next generation experience where people are gonna be doing this, this, and this. Cap! That shit's cap. I don't get it, man. There's things in this game that have so much potential, man, and then it gets ruined. It gets ruined by things like this. What were you guys overlooking? What were you overlooking? I made a video talking about how can Cyberpunk overdo or overcome, I guess I should say, The Witcher 3. And the number one thing I said, I wanted the AI and the immersion to be better than it was in The Witcher 3. And none of that happened. I was completely fucking wrong. None of that was going to happen. None of it was as marketed. And that's why the press is bad on this game. Now, moving on to the positive notes, which is going to be way more. And I'm done with my ranting. The positive of this game outweighs the negative for me. I'm not talking about for anybody else. We're all entitled to our own opinions. And even as an objective gamer, I still say, from an objective viewpoint, from just playing all these games and putting them into one, the positive outweighs the negative in this game. And I'm going to give you one clip, one reason, and one how.
Gonna be a legend in this city. And I'm gonna leave you alone now. Take your time.
Fucking scared me, know that? Thought you were on your way out.
No, still here.
For now. You know, should call anyone you want to say goodbye to.
Worst case scenario. That what you expect?
No. But whatever you decide, risk's gonna be high. If things don't go our way. Just fucking do it. Anyone you gotta talk to, now's the time. Pills can wait.
No, not really my style. Goodbyes.
You do you. Come a long way to get here, haven't we? Just think. It all started in a fucking landfill.
Mm-hmm. Then you tried to kill me.
See exactly what I mean. Trying to save your sorry hide now. You can let me do that. Or you can try Panam and her tarmac rats. But then their lives will weigh heavy on your soul. Or you take Arasaka's deal, but then you'll have your own soul on your conscience.
Right here. This is the clip that I was talking about. These hard game altering decisions. I've seen so many people talk about how these decisions and how your options and how you interact with the world don't matter. But that's a clip right there that it does. You can get 3 different outcomes just based on how you choose that mission. And that alone separates this game from so many others. There are so many different choices in this game that it makes me want to go back and play them through when they fix other issues. I think people have been hard on this game, expecting way too much, expecting a game that is just almost just an RPG, that's it, instead of an RPG first and then other stuff next. That it's kind of mind-boggling, and I don't think it's even reality-based at all. I don't think you can even do that to an extent. I mean, you guys are asking for perfect video games, and it's never going to happen. Not even in Red Dead. In Red Dead, you really only got about 2 or 3 endings, and it's about the same here. But nobody complained about that in Red Dead. Now, again, I'm not here to compare Red Dead Redemption 2 to Cyberpunk 2077. I feel like they're 2 completely different games. However, there are some similarities that I can point out, and some, I guess you would say, conjectures. I guess that would be a better word for it. I don't know. I'll throw another word in there one day. To what people are reviewing and documenting about this game. Is this game perfect? Absolutely not. Is the decisions that you do in this game absolutely altering? No. But I found that being a corpo in some of the situations had different dialogue choices and different altered paths and altered things that really came to matter as my playthrough went on. Sure, did I get a different ending for that in the Nomad playthrough I did? Not really. I pretty much got the same ending around it. I mean, it wasn't the exact same ending, but I got the same thing basically. But I got to experience a different facet of the video game, and the replayability is there. It definitely is there. For people saying there's no reason to go back and play as a Nomad, as a corpo, or as a street kid, there absolutely is. There's little things that matter, and there's these little books or these little journals that you pick up or these little shards that you pick up that do matter. For instance, in one of the missions that I was doing with Pan Am, where I was at the top of the tower with her, I discovered and read this little shard that helped me understand what happened with the Aldecados and their background. And that's stuff you wouldn't really think about unless you stopped to read them. Now, most of them I didn't have time to read them. It was getting a little tedious, but I went back and read them after I was done playing the game to get some more information. But it feels like, again, that people are rushing their reviews, not taking their time with the reviews, and just coming out and saying, oh, they don't really matter, they didn't put a lot of work into them, when I feel like the most and the number one thing that they worked on was the story, the dialogue, and the interactions between characters, which I do not feel like was falsely marketed. Moving on to the next positive that I really liked about this game, and that was the gunplay. You're seeing it right here. The gunplay was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. Now, it's not Call of Duty, it's not Battlefield, it's nothing like a first-person shooter, to be honest, but it suffices and it is intriguing. This little pulse rifle, or whatever this gun is called, I don't remember it off the top of my head, was the funnest gun that I've used in any shooter in my life. This stuff is up there with the Commando in Black Ops 1, the ACR in Modern Warfare 2, and the Intervention in Modern Warfare 2. I absolutely had a blast shooting people through walls. I don't feel like it was overpowered. I didn't feel like the smart pistols and the smart guns were overpowered. I felt like every gun was fun. However, I do want to touch on the looting since we're talking about guns and stuff of this nature. The looting was a little bit tedious. I was getting annoyed with, because I like to be stylish. I like my character to look good, look fly. And another thing that I was really concerned with while I was playing this game, and I'm gonna get off on a little bit of a rant topic here, is how people interact with you when you look good. When I got a new car, I did have a couple NPCs come up to me and said, ooh, nice whip, or ooh, you look good, or ooh, what the hell are you wearing? I did have those instances, but it was few and far between. And the looting within this game, I don't know why they went for the looter shooter, I guess appeasement. I don't know if that's the, again, I don't know if that's the correct word, but I'm gonna use it anyways. I don't know why they went for the looter shooter. I just don't know. I wish they would have did some other method of it. I mean, probably something like, again, maybe Red Dead, where it's not really based on armor. I don't feel like armor should have even been in the game, to be honest. It didn't affect my playthrough. Sometimes I was using like the bare minimum armor and still running through people if I just played everything right and did everything correctly. But again, I still did end up having to use some type of armor to get up, because I would maybe struggle just a little bit. Instead of doing the mission twice, I just want to do it once. Don't know why they went for that, have no clue. Hopefully they revamp it and touch it up in the future. I'm looking forward to that. But as far as the gun goes and the gunplay and the combat system, I enjoyed it. Wish the katanas could cut through and be a little bit better, but I wish they could cut through bullets and make it look a little cooler. There's a little weird thing with the tripwire, not the tripwire, but the little wire thing. I keep forgetting what it's called. But there's a little weird thing that they marketed that you could like choke people, slice people's necks off and stuff with it. None of that's in the game. It's weird. It's stupid. I don't know why that's cut content. But again, that's in the negative portion. I'm not going to hammer too hard on it, but it is a little bit concerning. But I had a fun time in combat. I didn't feel like it was tedious. I didn't feel bored by it. I didn't feel any of that. And overall, I really enjoyed it for the game. Moving on to the next thing that I really want to talk about that people aren't hammering home enough, and that is the design of Night City versus any other open world you have ever played. The design of Night City is so immaculate, and I want to go out on a limb and I want to say that the people who made Cyberpunk, the board game, come over and really worked on Cyberpunk, the life and the game in this video game. I said game like 3 times, but in this video game, Night City feels real. It feels alive. Maybe not the AI, but the design of the city feels so real. The nooks and crannies, the parkour. Once I got double jump and I leveled up all my characters' jumping abilities, I was getting into places that I was like, oh my goodness, didn't even know you could get up here. How many different alleyways you can go into, how many different doors that you can go into. Sure, some of them are locked. Sure, some of them aren't all the way fleshed out. But oh my goodness, compare this to something like GTA, which for some reason everybody wants to compare Cyberpunk to GTA. There's a little bit of comparisons, but not a lot. GTA is nothing but left and right turns, and maybe like 1 or 2 places you can go up and down floors. There's not a lot. Compared to Cyberpunk, every little detail in the city is almost explorable. Almost all of it. And that's not even describing the Badlands. And that's not describing to oil rigs and the oil fields. There's so much to search for and discover if you're just looking for loot and looking for stuff or just looking to explore. There's a lot of stuff to do there, but it's hindered by the interactions of the game, which again I've talked about in other videos. But the interactions in this game is just if you could eat, drink, and do other stuff, this game would be top tier with its open world. One of my favorite parts about this game, and I feel like other than the open world design, everything going on with it is the characters. I said this earlier in the video, but I'll say it again, so I really want to hammer this home. The characters and the actors really just shoulder the load in this game. The story was top tier, man. This stuff really had me emotionally invested, really had me into the game, into the characters, and that's why I feel like the bugs and the glitches never hindered me. Also, you know, it's kind of plausible that, you know, I played Skyrim on PS3 on launch. I played The Witcher 3 on launch. I played Bethesda's games, just almost every game on launch. I've dealt with buggy messes. They don't break most of my issues unless they're like Fallout 76, which is just, I mean, people comparing Cyberpunk to Fallout 76, to me, I think they just live under a rock or they got hit by a rock. I mean, there's only 2 explanations. Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk are not in the same lane at all. There's no greedy microtransactions. There's none of that. But back to my conversation about the characters. I love the characters. Takamura, great. Who's next? Panam, great. Judy, great. The best person of the game, Jackie Wells, great. Now I know he was cut off a little short, but it really made me feel like I had motivation and that I made a wrong decision, or that my decisions in the game mattered because Jackie died so early. Another person or another character that I felt like people were giving a lot of shit. Now again, your own opinion's your own opinion. But did y'all really think Keanu Reeves was going to do anything other than just be Keanu Reeves? Like, I don't know what you guys were expecting. He was exactly what I wanted Johnny Silverhand to be and what I expected him to be. In fact, I grew very attached to Johnny Silverhand, that when he was ripped out of my brain or cut off out of my skull or just removed from me, that I was like, man, is there a way to keep Johnny? Is there a way for us both to do this simultaneously, to both care about each other and work with each other and work with this? I really wanted that to happen. Now, I got a couple of issues with some of the stuff with Johnny Silverhand. I felt like at times he kind of feels like he's going against himself. Like Johnny's supposed to be this dickhead for a little bit. He ends up growing and there's character development, which makes him good. It makes Johnny Silverhand and Keanu Reeves really stand out as a character. But I would kind of like him seeing a more dickheadish and more, you know, pissed off at the world than what he was towards the end. But that's just a little nitpick. With the characters, with the design of the characters, with the flow of the story, and everything with the narrative, I felt like it was great. And that's where the game excels the most, is with the story, which is what I came into the game expecting. I did not come into this game expecting a sandbox to run around the open world for hours upon hours. That's possible, you can do that, but that's not where the bread and butter of this game is. I wanted to experience Cyberpunk, see Cyberpunk, feel the theme, and explore the theme, and understand the story the most, and level up my character throughout the story. And that's where it excelled for me. And that's what it comes down to, guys. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If you look at other reviewers, or you look at even your own opinion, and really dive into your own opinion and look at them and see exactly where your preconceived notions are coming from, you're gonna see where your expectations were wrong. There's a lot of people who don't want to accept blame that they had uncanny, just crazy amounts of hype for this game that just weren't realistic. And to me, I said that before the game came out, that I was not going to put this game on some next generation crazy hype train. It wasn't possible. Not even Red Dead lived up to that hype, in my opinion. There's just no way for video games to live up to this is the greatest thing ever hype. I just don't feel like that's rational, and I don't feel like that's based in reality. What I was expecting was a good, solid game that worked. Now, did it work all the time? No. Does it work on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? No. But for me, when I was playing it on PC, it worked the majority of the time, and these little bugs and glitches didn't break my experience of the game. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, and we'll wrap up the positive stuff and go into another topic, was the theme of Night City, Cyberpunk, and just in general, the shots and just the feel of being there. And Night City really keeps me, and I feel like it would keep you going. It makes me feel like I'm there and that I'm immersed in the world until there's a bug or a glitch. And when those get ironed out, there is no doubt in my mind I will feel like I am in the game and I am in the world. It is absolutely fabulous. It is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to show you guys the new projects that we're going to be working on, from Cyberware to Cubics. There's a lot of things that's going to fit into this game. There's a lot of lore in the game that you can really sink your teeth into and learn. I felt like the economy wasn't great in the game. I felt like I could buy stuff if I really grinded them out. I don't feel like the gigs or the side missions were hustles or very, I guess you would say, issues. They weren't bothersome or tedious like they were in AC Valhalla or AC Origins. I really felt like this game had good flow to them. I felt like every gig I did was very interesting. It was very fun to do, and that the money that I got rewarded for them were fun depending on my decisions, and I just enjoyed them. I really enjoyed the side missions as well. I really enjoyed the game, and again, I'm gonna continue to state this. I may critique a game, and you can continue to critique a game and critique developers, but still enjoy the game. You guys know me in Call of Duty. I critique Call of Duty all the time. I critique a lot of games all the time. I critique Apex and Titanfall, but I don't think that they're bad games. Well, Call of Duty is a different ballgame, but I don't think Apex and Titanfall are bad games. I just have some criticism with them, and it's the same thing with Cyberpunk. Now, this wouldn't be an smooth fingers experience if I didn't talk about how this game relates to our life and how it relates to being a better, stronger person and keeping our morals, and for me as a Christian, how it relates to my Christian values. This game to me is an experience of a life in a world without God. This would be a terrible way to live. People trying to chase immortality, people modifying their bodies, people changing genders all the time is an incredible, shitty way to live. And I know people are going to say, well, there's just a lot of free will, but you also see the impacts of how free will intertwines with decision making on a world like this. And that's why I enjoyed this game so much, is that there is no glorifying this world. It never makes an attempt to glorify itself or say that it's right or even say that it's wrong. One of the side missions that you do in this game, you have to go find a kid that's basically been kidnapped, tortured, and punished. And honestly, it's one of the most gut-wrenching, gripping side missions and missions in gaming that I've ever had. And of course, it's not as gory or as gruesome as they wanted it to be or that they probably marketed it as, but there's only so much that you can do. And that one side mission really made me appreciate the work and the storytelling and the world building that Cyberpunk CD Projekt Red did here. This, again, guys, is a life and a story without God. And it's just clearly evident. When humans just have full power and take over everything and God does not intervene and you don't have that check and that balance and that moral compass, you just see how the world will go to shit so quickly. Again, I know some of you probably aren't religious, don't have a background on none of that, but that's just how it relates to me so you can understand me as a person. If you're not like that, that's fine. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you found some entertainment or fun in the game. And if you're waiting on the game to be played and you wanted to see me review it, here it is. Here's my review of it. Or if you just think that the game is shit, you don't like it, and you just watch this video for some reason because you just want to hear me bash it, or I don't know, or you just find me entertaining, it is what it is. And again, I hope you pick it up one day when it gets fully fleshed out. Hopefully this game makes a turnaround like No Man's Sky. It would really, really be amazing. I can't wait to play the DLCs. I'm going to hold off on playing my third playthrough, kind of just go back and do a little side missions on my first 2 playthroughs. to hold me over until the DLC and the updates come in and the patches come in. Again, nothing is set in stone. We don't know what they're going to fix. They have not announced exactly what they're going to fix other than stability. I'm just hoping that they add in some of the cut content that they had, and maybe that was just DLC to keep the game going. And I really hope that they don't just move on to their next project for about 3 to 4 years, because this game can really thrive if it continues to get the updates, the support, and the replayability that it desperately needs. And there is so much faith in CD Projekt Red for me that they will do those things and that they will continue to do that. I was concerned with some of the, I guess you would say, weird things going on. There's a Baphomet. If you check your hand tattoo at the end of the game, you'll see a little tattoo that's with Johnny, and it's a Baphomet, honestly. And I mean, I'm not surprised anymore. Games are throwing these Baphomets in there, but I'm gonna continue to call them out on their shit. Go study, go research Baphomet, Ball, all of this, you know, all that weird stuff. I see the hitting messages, I see the predictive programming, I get what's going on here, but again, I'm gonna call it out and stuff like that. Again, it is a design. It is the design. Their meaning and the meaning in this world and the meaning in our world is two different things, but they ain't slick, and I'm not letting them go for it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's my review. That's what I thought about Cyberpunk 2077. A few things that I kind of left out and I didn't touch upon was my interactions here. You've seen the boss fight and me losing. This was a really good boss fight in my opinion. I enjoyed it. There wasn't too many glitches or bugs. I know some people didn't like the ending with Adam Smasher and how he was as a boss, but the destructible environments and everything in this game and just in this scene and this fight and this boss battle was really cool for me. I'm not expecting Dark Souls, and I don't want to play Dark Souls in Cyberpunk. I don't want it that hard. I played this on hard, played it on very hard, very fun, sometimes challenging, sometimes not challenging. I felt like it was a good balance, but again, different people, different experiences. I really enjoyed the soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks. Don't think it was the best of the year last year. I think Doom Eternal and Ghost Runner both had better soundtracks, but it was a really good soundtrack for Cyberpunk, and I enjoyed it phenomenally. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. I really kept listening to songs over and over again, and I downloaded some of the songs on my phone to continue to listen to them. They were very well done. A little bit of nooks and crannies here that I'll kind of just touch on before the video ends. I don't really prefer first person over third person so much, but in this game I really enjoyed it, especially from a narrative. I wish we would have got both. I wish they would have found out how to put both of them in together, but I understand they chose one route and mods will have to do the rest. There is modding support coming from this game if you play on PC, so some of these will be updated. Some of these issues that I have will be updated, and hopefully we'll see the game improve and continue to flesh out in the future. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for my Cyberpunk 2077 review. 8 years of waiting, 7 years of patiently just designing, creating things. Here's my review. Can't wait to get back to consistent content. We'll continue to talk about Cyberpunk as I enjoy that with the news and the updates and the DLC that come out. I'll continue to play it. I enjoyed the game. Let me know down below how you feel about it, what you thought about my review. As I critique them, critique me. Let me know if I need to improve in things so I can continue to get better. Patient reviews are only going to get better from here on out. And again, guys, I really enjoy doing these. I'm going to continue to do these, and I'm excited to continue pumping these out. My final verdict for Cyberpunk 2077 is an 8 out of 10. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 if I did decimals. That's for the PC version. And the cloud version. For a console version for PS4, Xbox One, it's a solid 5, and that's just after the updates is finally running. I highly do not recommend picking this up if you're on Xbox One or PS4. Xbox Series X and PS5 are a lot better and run the game a lot. If you were excited for the game like me and really want to play it, go pick it up. If you are waiting on some updates, wait for that next gen update, wait for some DLC updates, wait for them to iron it out and it get better, because right now it's nowhere near on console the way it should be, and even on next generation I don't think it's worth a $60 price tag. Thank you so much for tuning into the video, ladies and gentlemen. Bless up as always. God bless. I'll see you in the next patient review, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.